Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about the media perceiving that T-Mobile is outpacing the competition. And it's not just subscriber ads in the media, it's also perceived now that T-Mobile has outpaced Verizon and AT&T on 5G. Now, here's the thing. Verizon has heavily been betting on millimeter wave, which is starting to pay off. We're starting to see it travel more. The speeds are great on it. And you just won't be able to see those kinds of speeds on midband because of the fact that midband can't reach as wide of channels on bandwidth as millimeter wave. But then again, on midband, you are going to see much further range on coverage over millimeter wave. But as you can see here, the title of this article, which I will leave in the description down below, T-Mobile outpaced AT&T and Verizon in the first quarter. Now the focus turns to 5G. So we all know T-Mobile has been gaining more subscribers over the last few years compared to AT&T, Verizon, and at that time still Sprint. T-Mobile has been the fastest growing wireless carrier on both its network and subscribers. Now, the whole 5G debacle that's been going on is T-Mobile has been stating a claim of a nationwide 5G network, but it just does not perform as a generational leap because the channels on that low band spectrum that they are using for 5G aren't as wide. So if you take that same 20 megahertz channel and you add it on LTE, it's going to perform the same. There is no real difference other than about 10-15% more efficient, I believe is what I was researching. But there is no real difference between the two. In fact, many people have pointed out that if you added that entire slice to LTE, it may be better performing for LTE users because not many people currently in the market have a 5G device. Now, Neville Ray has stated, and I got to give him his credit, he's taken the T-Mobile network to new heights where it's never been before, but it's just not on par yet with Verizon and AT&T. But one thing that Neville did back when they won the Band 71 spectrum, he already started building with 5G NR in mind. And that's why they have, in technical aspects, outpaced AT&T and Verizon on being the first to launch 5G on such a wide scale, because Neville knew that just as we seen on LTE, the network needed a coverage layer even on 5G, and they used low band. So that's how they were able to outpace the competition in terms of claiming a nationwide network. And I think they are going to continue claiming that here at least through the year 2020 as AT&T is trying to catch up with their low band rollout. And then, of course, Verizon is using DSS, which is AT&T is also using DSS here later in the year. So that is just something that I've been talking about on different threads and with different people. And T-Mobile has been really good at marketing, mastering the marketing. So their marketing team is really good at getting the public and the media to buy into something. Not saying that it's not really true, but when they say that they're on par, their networks are on par with AT&T and Verizon or this, that, and the third, it's not really true. Based on some of the research that I've done with another buddy of mine, there is an approximate number out there that T-Mobile, now that they've closed the transaction with Sprint, the merger, is still going to be between 800,000 to 1 million square miles smaller. And that is the entire geographical footprint of the U.S., almost a whole million square miles smaller still. But many perceive T-Mobile as literally being on par. So now that some of the people have switched to T-Mobile, I'm seeing it now. I'm getting emails. I'm seeing posts on social media that, hey, I got T-Mobile. I thought it was on par, but I still don't get services here. I tried T-Mobile 3 years ago, and now that I'm back with them on a good rate plan, it's still the same. I still don't have the better services or better speeds. It still has not improved. And many people are starting to see that. So a buddy of mine reached out and said, do you think that T-Mobile's churn is going to start spiking? And my response to him was, yeah, maybe it's going to start spiking, but I don't think it's going to spike so high that it's going to affect the overall business. I don't believe that. I think they were able to manage keeping most of its customers because of the 24 months bill credit. So at 8, 9 months, if the customer say, hey, look, the service is not cutting it, but if I leave now, then all of this is going to come due in full. So I'm going to stick it out. So I think based on that, once that 24-month period is over, and it's, of course, I don't know when that is, for every individual, it's different. But I do think that some of those customers will end up leaving T-Mobile if the coverage experience or speed experience hasn't gotten better. But then again, T-Mobile was really smart in doing the bill credits for 24 months because 24 months is a long time in the industry, and they could have plans to fix a lot of those issues or have the actual time to fix those issues for those customers. So by the time that 24 months rolls around, they may stay because the service is now better. So like I said, don't pay too much attention to the media in terms of T-Mobile outpacing its competition. Just remember, AT&T and Verizon can still spend so much more money. I know AT&T right now is not necessarily the best company in terms of how it's ran and efficient. I still think T-Mobile does that better right now, especially as they venture into the home internet and the TV side. I think they do that better as well. But I think that AT&T has money, and I think they're going to be forced as a company to really fix this time. I think the Elliott management, I think the board members, other investors are going to say, hey, look, we can't keep losing these customers. We're going to request a price cut, and we're going to request you to fix this issue. So I think that'll help AT&T, and I think that'll actually happen now. It's more realistic now than it's ever been under Randall Stevenson. Now that Stanky's in place, and he's not necessarily that he's getting like a planner on how to run the company from the investors, but they're telling him, hey, this is where we would like the company to go, and I think this is what you need to do to get this fixed. So he's getting that kind of feedback, and I think it's good feedback for AT&T, definitely in the long term. I think midterm, AT&T is still going to be in that troubled position, not financially, but I think they're gonna bleed lots more customers on TV. I think wireless is going to be a daily roller coaster, because a lot of people, they bundle the services. So if they leave the TV, they're also likely to leave the wireless and then the home broadband if they so are able to find a different provider. Here in the area where I'm at in El Paso, it's kind of a monopoly between Spectrum and AT&T. AT&T kind of, not that they took over this market, but they have a lot of properties that they have individual contracts with where no other service provider can get on that property. And that's kind of an issue because there's really no competition for anyone else to enter the property. So whatever, in that case, whatever AT&T says, it kind of goes. But now that they're starting to roll out their fiber home broadband, the satisfactory rate is a lot better than it's ever been. And it's a great service. I had it previously. Now that I moved, I don't have it anymore. I'm back to the DSL broadband, which is not too bad. It could be better, but I think fiber will eventually come here as well as it is across the nation. And I think AT&T just is going to invest the money necessary to make that happen. But again, like I said, to end this video, T-Mobile outpacing the competition. Yeah, maybe, in a short term, midterm. But right now, it's really, T-Mobile's really focused on the integration of the company. So we have the network integration ongoing. By midsummer, towards the end of summer, we're going to start seeing the Sprint brand disappear. And then we're going to start seeing some of the new moves as of August or so that T-Mobile is going to make. We've seen that already leaked. There are some rumors of new plans, perhaps. Will they keep Tidal? Will they keep Hulu? There's just a lot of unknown at this time with T-Mobile, but there's a lot of good excitement to be excited about. The capacity that'll come out of that network is going to be tremendous. I think the Un-carrier initiative is still there, offering free service to first responders. It's got to be a headache for AT&T and Verizon that are competing in that space. Here in El Paso, a buddy of mine, we've seen some small cells being installed by the fire stations. So they're definitely trying to compete for the first responders. And then, of course, overall growing the network as well. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. I always look forward to reading all the comments. Some really good feedback on the last video. It was kind of a 50-50 mashup there. People said that they had no issues with HBO Max. Some people said they couldn't get it going at all. So it's not a flawless experience, but I think over time AT&T will fix that. I also set it up on my TV last night. It wasn't too bad, but it did take quite a while to get that going. So definitely stay tuned to the channel. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you have been on the channel, you can go ahead and end the video now. But if you are new, hit the notification bell so you are notified when I upload content. Also, if you have a Twitter, follow the Twitter. I do post the videos on there, as YouTube has been dropping the ball on pushing out the actual notifications. People have been emailing me that as recent as yesterday, saying they just received a video that I posted 5 days ago. So make sure you follow the Twitter, as I will post content on there. And this is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.